Okay. Is it recording? Okay. Yeah, recording. Okay, so we're doing the faux hawk updo, and there's my girl. I'm putting all-purpose comb, tail comb. For sometimes when you're dealing with this much hair up, it doesn't have good combability. You may want to get a bigger comb, like a wide tooth comb. And I don't have a teasing brush, but you could use your teasing brush when you're working with the back combing. I've got more clippies out. I've got Yoettes. This is my spatula when I use my my pomade. I'm ready to be safe and right.
Miss Olivia, what can be alternative to pomade?
What's that? What's that?
Like, for example, I don't have pomade, so what I can use another stuff for, like, you know?
Well, you could have the hair prepped before, like when you dry with mousse in it, or sometimes maybe styling cream might work, but you don't have to use a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Styling cream, shine. I'm only going to use the pomade when I'm going to braid on the sides.
Oh, I can use wax spray, huh?
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. So I have some long bobby pins in case I need them. I have some shorties. I was mad because these were silver. That's not what I wanted, but that's life. I have my rubber bands. I made sure you guys had rubber bands too. I know you guys have both. And then these are hairpins. Hairpins are just really for sticking the hair and like holding it in place and moving it around. So those are the hairpins. All right. So that part's good. Okay. So let's see. I hope you guys can see her. Okay. All right. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do, can I get 1 second? I'll be right back. BRB, 1 second.
So no one cut their bangs over lunch? No. Hey, actually, Cindy's, which one of you did a thermal before break? I didn't get your last initial.
Cindy Behar.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
And Tatiana.
Yeah, I got you. I said the Cindy's.
Okay.
There's only one of
Sorry.
you. There's not two of you, so that wasn't hard. Two of your same name.
All right, I had to put my fan on because my house is so hot. It's just unbelievable. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to section her hair, and I want that for that faux hawk. I want it to be 3 inches apart, and we're going to go all the way down to the top of the occipital. So just starting from here, I'm going to section her, and it should be 3 inches wide all the way. You don't have to narrow until after the occipital. Okay. So 3 inches, that is part of the foundation. 3 inches wide. That's good. I'm going to come all the way down the back to the top of the occipital. Okay, so I'm going to take the hair on the side that I'm not using yet, and I'm just going to braid it off the scalp and put a rubber band on it and get it out of my way. You could clip it, but I find that if I just braid off the scalp, it gets it out of my way in a nice way. I'm going to use a little rubber band there. And we'll come back and work on that section. Just so you know, you see what this looks like. It's coming here and it's going all the way. I did end up going all the way down the back side. I did go all the way to the nape, but I'm going to show you how we're going to section off the nape a little bit. Does that help? Does that help?
Yeah, help a lot. Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay, Grace, I took it off. Remember, Grace, tell me all the time, take this off. There you go. Finally. Okay, so 3 inches, start, it goes all the way to the back. It narrows in a little bit down here, but there's something we're going to do different with the nape. Okay, so this is braided off the scalp. That's fine. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get this next section. About 3 inches. You know, and Maria's got a big head, and so that's the thing. We got to work with that too. She does have a big head, so come here. Make sure it looks as balanced as possible. I feel like I had to move over a little bit. Does that look more balanced? Let's see here. I think that's better. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way down to the nape. Okay, what am I going to do on the side?
Braid.
Just braid off the scalp to get it out of the way until I finish the rest of my foundation. This is just to hold the hair out of the way. I found it easier than putting in the clip. It's loose. Just getting it out of my way. All right. So now I've got my faux hawk part. Hopefully I'm pretty close to in the middle. I'm going to turn her. Goes all the way down the back. And this is what it looks like in the back. It just comes down all the way to the nape, okay? Can you guys see that? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, got a good. So it did, I would say it went from 3 inches on the top down to about 2 back here. Just for reference. Okay. So I'm going to, this center part now, I'm going to section it in two. Let me see, I got to add more hair. Whoops. Take something from my braid here. I wasn't too happy with my, it got a little too narrow, too fast for me. Notice how I'm holding this hair while I'm working on my section. Trying to make this side look a tiny bit better. It's not, wasn't the prettiest. I do want this sectioning to look fairly good because you can see it. Okay, let's see if that looks better from the back. I think that looks better. All right. So now I'm still holding my whole center. I'm going to come to what would be her occipital. So right about here at the back, I'm going to take that section. Oh, it helps if I get the other side out of the way again. Sorry about that. Let's get this other side out of the way. Quickie braid off the scalp. I'm going to make that one a quick one. All right, so I'm going to come down to the nape. Where would be the occipital? I'd say about like 3 fingers up is where I want you to take this section. Okay, so 3 fingers, so right about here. I'm going to take this section and I'm going to come across the back. Drop this hair out. So this is what it looks like. So I sectioned out about 3 fingers from the nape, about where the occipital would be. All right, so I really want to get this hair out of my way really good, as tight as I can. Okay, so this right here, this little section is the thing we do next. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. So what I always like to do when I create those ponytails using the rubber bands is the first thing I want you guys to put your ponytail, we're gonna create a ponytail right here. I want you to put your ponytail close to the part. So does everybody get that? Close to the part. Make sure the bottom looks nice and smooth because everything's gonna, like, this is gonna help you to get the hair up and out of the way. So what am I creating right here by putting this ponytail? Can anybody tell me what that's called? My what?
An anchor.
Woo! Thank you. So when I do the technique of the two bobby pins with the rubber band, sometimes I'll put the ponytail there first, just so I got it in. And now I can free my hands to create my rubber band with my bobby pins. Does everybody remember how to do this? Yes, no? Wait, this happened to me yesterday. It was acting funny. Get in there. Okay. Okay. So my rubber band is close to my part. I'm just going to come in and I'm going to secure that in the professional style by coming around and locking it in. And I don't know if you can ever notice, but it always perks up that ponytail whenever you do use the bobby pin technique. Okay, so our foundation, right? 3 inches section in the center on the top, all the way down to the nape. We section off the sides. When we come to the nape, we use our 3 fingers to come up and create a part. We're going to put a rubber band in our style with the 2 bobby pins and a rubber band to hold that close to the part to create an anchor back here. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move to the sides. And this is where we're going to do our braiding. Can be a French braid, a Dutch braid, or a train track braid, which I'll show you after I braid one. We're going to split this section in half as possible. And it's going to curve around with the head shape as we section it. So section that down. Looks like a half. It's about 1.5 inches each. I'm going to take a little more from the top. And then follow the shape of the head. It does get kind of narrow as you go along. Following the shape of the head. Come down. So it does get narrow in the nape area, but I followed all the way. I sectioned the 2 parts as much as possible, as even as possible. Rounded the head. Okay. Try not to have hard corners, so I don't want it to look like a line and then down. It should look like rounded, like the top's gonna look, kind of like faux hawk up here, rounded, faux hawk here, like the shape. Does that make sense? Yes, no? All right. So again, I'm gonna work with this top one. So I'm gonna braid this bottom one off. I'm gonna use a yoette to clip the hair out of the way. This is what happens. You're working with a lot of hair. You got to get it up and out of the way. So I'm just going to braid this off the scalp, out of my way, so I can work on this section. And this is where you're going to do your Dutch braid or your French braid. Do you guys want French braid or Dutch braid to see me do?
Dutch braid, please.
Dutch. Okay, I'm not going to do it this way as a teaching method, but I'll do the Dutch braid. Always use your stand to your advantage. And it's not easy because it's on the side of the head. 3 strands. And you got to run your fingers through the other hair. I'm going to start that over. Gotta get this hair out of my way. Oh, I was gonna put pomade in this, but I'll put pomade in the part down below. So I'm following this all the way down. The round, the head. Keep your knuckles close to the head so it stays tight on this part especially because it's where we curve. It's easy to lift off the head right here. So stay close, stay tight. Okay, so I've got all the hair up in my braid. And now, tight as you can, I'm braiding off the scalp. Gretchen, see how my hands go under? They're still going under. That's what you're going to practice off the scalp braids first for under, under, pass under, pass under, pass under. That's one exercise. Eventually, when we're starting to pin this all up, this braid is going to be tucked up, the end of it, and it is going to go around what? My anchor. Okay. So when we start to pin everything up, we go around the anchor. So there's one. And now my next one.
Miss Salita,
Yeah.
don't you think it's be look awesome like that volume Dutch braid with the French one?
One Dutch, one French.
Uh-huh.
No, I've done that before.
You don't like it, huh?
It didn't look as good. You mean just all French braid or?
No, like this. This is a Dutch one, like pumping up, and French will look
Yeah,
more
I mean,
flat.
you can do that. I've done that before, but I didn't care for it. But you can do that.
Okay, thank you.
I don't care. You can. But I would prefer, like, I'm gonna do another Dutch braid here. I prefer that look the same when I do it, but I don't care if you're creative after this, as long as you follow all the other structure.
Okay,
But I
thank
want
you.
to show you guys a really quick, like, train track technique, but then I'm gonna turn around and just do a Dutch braid. Just in case somebody can't braid, but I don't know if I think this is much easier. So I'm gonna use a little bit of pomade because I wanted to do that when I did the braid. So it has to be a French, a Dutch, or one of these tracks, or a twist. And you can put one or the other, I don't care, but it has to be 2 3-strand braids.
Miss
Yeah.
Salita, could you
Yes.
turn the doll so we could see where you stopped the braid?
Sure, great, yes.
Thank
So
you.
I'm adding this pomade because it really helps with grip and it helps shine and everything. So I braided all the way to the back of the head. All the way down, almost to the nape, but it came off the nape a little bit. And anyway, this is gonna go up and around my ponytail.
So do you want us to stop 3 fingers like for the other?
I didn't mean to stop there. I was pulling hair from lower than I should have, but it got really narrow. So I just stopped there. As long as you stay tight to the head, that's fine.
Oh, so you do prefer us to go all the
If
way
you
down?
can go farther, go farther.
Okay.
Yeah, go as far as you can. So just a really quick, this is, I don't know if I'm gonna get like this, her. Okay. You're gonna make your client go in very awkward positions. All right, let me find my tail comb. So this is just a little train track. When I was practicing doing this, I practiced with this as well, but it actually was more work. But if somebody absolutely can't braid, maybe you can do this. It just is a lot of work. So you take this first. It's a very narrow section. It's like 1/4 of an inch across the whole section, and you tie a knot like a shoe tie. Priya, are you in here?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, let me try to put you. Let me
Sorry,
see.
my computer is like.
It's okay. Priya. There you go. You good? Okay. Okay, so you take this first section you're working with, and you're just gonna tie it in a knot. Split it in 2 equal halves, and almost like you tie your shoe tie. And the pomade helps it hold. You want it to hold as taut as possible. I just wanted to show you guys this technique because I've used it in a pinch for a lot of different things, and it just separates you from other people. You should know how to do it. It's a fun technique. You get to be different. Okay, next one, second one, 1/4 of an inch, shoe tie. Okay, can you guys all see that pretty well? 2, I did 2. They're staying pretty good because of the pomade that I used. Third one, from here on out, every time we do this, you're gonna get the hair from the one that's 2 ahead. So split, come under this second one and get the hair from the first one. Come under the second one, get the hair from the first one, and tie. Okay. Next section. split, come under, get the hair from the first one, under the second one, same thing. Come under, and you tie. So this is what it looks like. It's hard to see like up close, but it's just fascinating. It's like little round circular loops all connecting together, and it's just awesome. I'm going to do it a couple more times if anybody wants to use this technique, and then I'll finish my braid with my, anybody have any questions about this? Split in half, come under this one, get the first one. And tie. I have a picture of this up close. It was supposed to be in my PowerPoint, so I can show you guys what this looks like up close. I'll do one more.
So in the beginning, you do 2 separate knots. You knot them by themselves, and then on the third one is when you start going to the first one.
Ta-da!
Okay, got it.
Just like that, Flora. You said it for me. And then I just tighten them as I go, and they stay pretty nice. And then you're just going to follow that pattern all the way. I don't know if you can see how well you can see. Can you guys see that pretty well? It's just kind of fun, something different. If you guys wanted to see something different, and you follow that all the way. Good questions? But I'm gonna do a Dutch braid because I like them both the same. But you could do this if you don't know how to braid. If you want to do something different, I'm okay. And do one of each, like Tatiana says. I don't care. I didn't like the way it looked necessarily when I've done that, so. All right, so I'm just gonna start my next Dutch braid. Whoop, there goes my comb. All right. 3. Okay, Hannah, I'll stay close to the scalp as far down as I can go this time. And it's better on the under one anyway, because that's the one that can show. So I'll do that specifically on the other one, under one, and plus it has more hair. The under one generally does somehow. So let's see what I could do. That was amazing. I did that with one hand. Okay, so I'm pretty much braiding all the way to the nape, as far as I could go. And braid off. You're going to do the same thing on the other side, and you should do the other side right when you're finished with this side. I'm not going to do the other side because it's the exact same thing. Is everybody good with that? Yes. Yes. It's a break time. Do you guys want to go and break and come back? Yes, no, or do you want me to finish?
It's 2:10.
Oh, let me just finish and then we'll take break after. I'm almost done. Okay,
Okay.
unless anybody has to go. So you rubber band that. All right, and then you can do this after, or you can do it now. I'm going to anchor these braids around my ponytail. So I'm coming under my ponytail, and then I'm going to go around, and then I'm going to tuck the end part of the braid in and start to anchor it with your hairpins, bobby pins. Don't open them with your mouth. Remember that. Okay, one is held. And then the last one. And this one looks really good because you braided all the way down. You come around. And then I'm just anchoring this around my ponytail. Anybody have any questions about that? No? Good, you can see. I still have this because this is what I'm going to use to hide some stuff down here if I want. Okay, and the very last part of this updo is the back combing on the faux hawk and pinning up the back. So this is where I really do like to see your creative side. As you could tell from the picture that I put up, I did a lot of, the back combing was very big and smooth. And then on the other side, you couldn't see, but it was almost like a French twist. Okay. So this is your imagination now. Some people, I'm going to show you the first part. Oh, my rat tail comb. Sometimes when you going to start in the front, sometimes you can take out this very front and you can leave that, not back comb it, to drape over the front so that it looks nice and covers up some of your back combing. That part's up to you. You can either back comb it and smooth it, or leave it out and come back to it. So I'll leave mine out for no reason. That's up to you. But then I'm gonna start my next section in my faux hawk. I'm gonna take about a 1-inch subsection and I'm gonna start backcombing. Now this little stinker had a good part in her hair. Why I always talk about no parts when we're preparing our doll heads, right? But I went and did it. I'm gonna start my backcombing. I really want you to over direct this hair forward when you backcomb so that it can go forward and you can work with it to bring it back to create that faux hawk look, faux hawk mohawk style look. So start your backcombing, really start on the base. And it's gonna be a lot of backcombing. Now,
Miss
how
Blue?
high up the hair you go is gonna be how much, like, what do you wanna do? So I've seen some people that go all the way up the hair. I know you can't see that. Cindy Lou Who. Isn't that like a Christmas thing? You can go all the way up the hair and you can create some rounding, what are those called? Somebody help me, the loops, but they're called, Miss Lahi, those big loops from the 1940s in the
Like victory rolls?
victory rolls. Thank you. You
Hey,
can
just do one
create,
big mohawk victory roll. That'd be cute.
I mean, mohawk victory roll, right? So after you backcomb it, you can smooth it a little bit as long as I can see the backcombing, and you can create some victory rolls. That's one idea. I know you can't see that, but too well. So she would set right there. And then you would do the next one, 1-inch victory roll, the next one, 1-inch victory roll, until you get to your ponytail. One idea, okay? Another idea is backcombing the heck out of all of it. So make sure most of your backcombing can be just in the bottom, like 1 to 4 inches. So it stands up really well. And then you still have some curl to do something fun with at the end. But make sure when you get your next 1 inch, that you put it, if you're going to do it where you're not separating it or anything, put it together with that one there. So they're like one, and backcomb them together. That 4 inches, so that you're creating the start of your faux hawk. See her from the front? We're starting our look. Okay, get your next 1 inch. Play with it, you know, think about something that you want to do. I had one student that backcombed the whole thing and she threw all the hair forward and then took the very tips of the hair and came back with it. It was like the Jetsons style. Otherwise, you can do the French twist look, you can do the victory roll look, or you can do one big faux hawk. Just you have to smooth it out a little bit after you do all this backcombing. So keep that in mind, that I have to see the backcombing. Put it together. The other hair in front. Don't want to see any holes on the sides either. And you're just going to keep going. All the way down the sections till you get to the nape. And because I like the hair to be all the way up, all the backcombing should be pretty strong. And then you're going to use this bottom section. You can backcomb that up and clip it in the messy bun kind of form. You can braid it and twist it around with the rest of the stuff. You can bring the whole thing all together any way you want. This is just the basic foundation. I like to see your creativity. And then I saved this front piece because it's smooth. And when you see in that very first one, that's the piece that you use. This front piece is the piece that you use to smooth over the updo. Can you guys see the difference that makes? Yes, no? When I put the
Yeah.
smoothing piece over? And then that will cover some, you know, you're just gonna work at it. So
But
that's
Miss-
why I like to leave that out.
Miss Alito,
Yeah,
so that front piece, do you think it'll reach to cover the whole thing?
yeah, it should. It's pretty long.
Hmm?
It should. It should, yeah. It comes almost to the nape. It comes to the nape. You can make it a little thicker than I did. But it's absolutely fun. Just to give you an idea of where it's going. Any questions right now? I know we're not gonna have a lot of time. We can work on this tomorrow too. And I have another one for tomorrow that we can like work on throughout. I know you guys need updos. Any questions about that so far? I'm gonna stop my recording.